right. Yay. Welcome, everybody. I'm Kristen Hadley, and today is day 2 of 3 steps to animal communication made easy. Um, so happy to have you here. This is teaching animal communication and talking about animal communication. Being an animal communicator is like the love of my life. Yes, I have human family and animal family who are also the loves of my life, but this is my work. This is why I'm on the planet, is to bring the the wisdom of animals to the human animals and to help us all connect and understand each other more completely because with that the world will be a happier, more peaceful, and healthy place for everyone. That truly is my belief. So, um, that's my big vision. And what I do in my Heart to Heart School of Interspecies Communication is I teach others to do this, how to do this, whether that's for personal enrichment or for to develop a professional practice and become a certified animal communicator. Um, and just letting other people in here. And so I just wanted to start off with that just very small bit about me and what I do and why I do it. And my screen keeps like bumping all over here, so I have to keep minimizing. Um, and so this workshop, this 2-day workshop, yesterday was day 1, today and day 2, is to really support you in thinking about animal communication as 3 pillar steps that both are internal and external. So there's an internal reflection of the pillar and there's an external reflection of the pillar. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Um, and to just let you know, remind you that this is so doable for you. It is so doable for you to communicate with animals, to bring this into your life, and to make this whatever you want it to be. And because you're here, I'm guessing, and some of you I know, you have had experiences communicating with animals already. This has happened for you. This isn't just like a fleeting thing. It's something that you've experienced and you've recognized it. You want to get it back. You might not be able to do it consistently. You might need to build confidence, learn some tools. I'm going to give you some tools today. We're going to do an exercise together. Um, and you know that the animals in your life are some of the most amazing beings who have a lot to give you. So just give me a high five, hands up here, a yes in the chat or whatever, if that is you. You've experienced animal communication before in some way, shape, or form. You know that your animals have more to tell you than just, I'm hungry, I want to go out, I don't like the thunder, right? There are reasons they have messages and wisdom to share. And just harkening back to what I said in the beginning about why I do this. Just think if, before the humans came and started like building things and breaking things and controlling things, the animals, they lived harmoniously on the planet. They lived with each other. They didn't, beat up on each other other than for natural reasons. They needed to eat or they needed to, move through an area. And and there was respect and there were boundaries and there was mutual appreciation and co-creation, cohabitation. And that's really where animals can lead us if we understand them. Imagine the animals in your life helping you find solutions to situations that come up in your world, situations that come up in your relationships, situations that come up in your household, in your families, in your yard, right? In your work. I am telling you, this is so possible and available for you. So, we're going to go through today. I'm just going to do a brief recap about what we covered yesterday. Then we're going to move into today's topics, which are allowing and acknowledging, 2 super important parts of communicating with animals. And then at the end, I am going to share with you about an opportunity that you can step into if you want more support. 2 different opportunities, actually, if you want more support around communication with animals and what that means for you, right? Where are you at with it, and how can you bring more of this into your life. So, um, what we covered yesterday was the topic of align. So the three pillars and really three easy steps are align, allow, and acknowledge. And yesterday we covered on beneath the umbrella of aligning, when we think about aligning with for animal communication and to make animal communication easier, um, most of the time you think about aligning your energy, right? Like, is that what's the first thing that comes to mind would be like, okay, I'm going to align my energy with the animal that I want to connect with. And that is really true. And that is absolutely something that we have to be aware of and practice and develop a skill to do. And yesterday I took people through an exercise to align your energy, mind, body, and spirit by slowing down your brain waves and then bringing your brain waves cycle per second back up. It was really, really simple. It brings you immediately into alignment, and right at a certain level in that exercise, your mind and your body, your emotions, all just there's a state of complete alignment, almost like complete harmony. I don't want to say perfection because that's a really, really big word, but perfect alignment. Um, so that's an internal aspect of aligning. It's an energetic aspect of aligning. But I also yesterday talked about alignment in terms of internally aligning with who we are with animals. When we come to a situation communicating with animals, like really being aware of our identity, right? Really being aware of who we are in that moment. And if we consider ourselves someone who can't communicate with animals or who struggles with communicating with animals or who um, isn't there yet, right? Then we're not in alignment, right? We're believing something else, telling ourselves one thing and showing up ready to do something else. And we know how that goes. It doesn't work, right? If you walk onto a stage and you decide you're going to sing, but you tell yourself you're not a singer, not going to happen, right? You're not going to be your best. So there's an identity aspect, right? This also comes into play where um, the when we are really attached to an animal, right? Attached to a situation, one of our own animals, and our identity is that of a worried um, caregiver, person, love, partner, family member. That identity that we bring also affects our alignment to be able to connect, right? Um, so those are other internal aspects that are not so much, yes, they affect our energy, but it's really not about a tool to connect with an animal. It's who are we coming to the connection? How are we aligning internally? Congruency, all of that, right? Then there's also this aspect of alignment around what do we believe? And I'm just listing this out for you. You can go back and watch yesterday's workshop. But what are our beliefs? Right? What are our beliefs about possibilities, ourselves, what animals can possibly be telling us, right? What are they capable of knowing? What are we capable of receiving? Is that going to be a one-word little kind of psychic hit, or is that going to be a complete download of information and a story and an experience that they're trying to share with us, that they want to share with us, right? And then also in alignment is, are we supporting ourselves in bringing this into our lives the way that we want? Or, right, like, and what does that mean? Do we have tools to support us? Do we know how to do this? Do we know how to connect? Do we have systems in place where it's actually built into your day to practice and grow? Do you have a community? Do you have people around you? Oftentimes, I don't know about you guys, but I hear all the time from people, I'm so happy to meet people who feel this way about animals. I am so relieved to be around people who just get it. And it's like emotional, to come together. I just did a class last week around using the language of compassion and inclusivity with animals. And these are people who are pretty aware of, they're already practicing animal communication. And the things that came up about new awareness around the possibilities for even deepening compassion for animals and expanding compassion, and then being ambassadors, right? Like being ambassadors for animals. That's what I consider this work. At whatever level you are stepping into or showing up as an animal communicator, we become ambassadors and not a voice for animals, but someone who knows the possibilities, and we can represent them through our actions, through our words, not talking for them, but just representing them as peers, as partners in life. Um, and I kind of, like there are activists, there are advocates, and then there are ambassadors. And I'm not into activism, like whatever. That's leave that to the others who are really good at it. I am absolutely an advocate, and ambassador really, really comes to me because I'm an educator, right? And that's all about leadership. And so I want to give everybody just that drip of identity and alignment for you is that by bringing this into your life, you really do become an ambassador for animals of all kinds. No matter where you are, it's a ripple effect that channels out, right? So just want are you taking this up? Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Telepathically taking in what I'm sending out. And if anytime you guys want to ask questions, feel free. You can pop them in the chat. Um, Whatever, and I'll just bring my chat up here in case I don't see them. So, um, okay. So, does this, well, you're picking it up. Do you see yourself in this? Do you see yourself here and where maybe you could um, come into more alignment? Maybe it's around having tools. Maybe it's around your own energy. Maybe it's around having support systems. Maybe it's around being with other people, making it a more consistent part of your life. Um, so the next easy step to make this easier is allowing. And when we think about allowing, and I'm going to talk through both allowing and acknowledging, and then we're going to do an exercise together. When we talk about allowing and animal communication, what comes to mind? Just pop it in the chat or come off mute and just say, when I say to you, the second step is allowing, what does that mean to you? Uh, Listening. Yes. Yes. Listening for sure. Letting animals be themselves. Beautiful. I love this. Yes, so good. Anybody else? Go ahead and type in there. I got the chat up now. Yes, it's all of those things, right? Allowing is, and the act of receiving, right, is listening and not doing something. When I teach like some real foundational skills, you can't receive the volleyball if you're throwing the volleyball all at the same time. If you're doing it one-handed, you're not really paying attention. So if you're doing both at the same time, you're not. So allowing, yes, is listening, it's receiving, it's not doing anything else except allowing information to come, allowing your senses to be open, allowing, not thinking, not controlling. Cecil, you mentioned letting animals be themselves. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how often when people are first starting or before they come, because we don't do this in the classes that I teach, but um, they have to like have the animal and be touching the animal and they want to be manipulating the animal in some way, like show me affection or connect with me. And it's so not that. We can work with animals, talk with animals, communicate with animals on other parts of the planet, you know, and letting them be themselves. If we have preconceived notions and ideas or are telling ourselves a story about what an animal's situation is or what their feelings are or what their personality is like or what their abilities are, we're not letting them be themselves. We are projecting all of our thoughts and expectations upon them. And whenever you put out thoughts and expectations, what do you get back? Those thoughts and expectations, right? So I love that, Cecil. Let animals be themselves. Absolutely. Yeah. And as ambassadors for animals, right? Like, isn't that what we want? I mean, that just brings up so much. Like, that is love, letting them be themselves. Really, really good. So the other part of allowing, right? So that's a connection aspect of allowing. The other aspects of allowing are um, allowing ourselves to be present and to be an animal communicator, allowing ourselves to be someone who understands animals, right? That has to be an ingredient that has to be there for you. If you feel like it's not you, you feel like it's not a part of you, you feel like you're not good enough, you feel like you don't have enough, then that's in the way and that creates dissonance. And that's not allowing, that's interference, right? So allowing also means embodying, allowing ourselves to embody being an animal communicator. And hey, this telepathy stuff, this interspecies communication, it's born in us. It's born in all animals. It's born in all living beings, plants, trees, flowers, blades of grass, rocks, everything in nature. Water droplets, the elements, right? Like just so present. We deserve to like take our place in the ecosystem, take our place in this kind of what I say like is a dream world for so many people, right? I mean, when I was a kid and I was talking to my mom about what the dog was saying and what the neighbors' horses were saying, and she's like, "Oh, you live in a dream world." I'm like, "I do." And I still do, and I love it, you know? But, everybody's dream is to talk with animals. They made a whole movie about it. They've remade it many times, right? So, like really allowing yourself to embody that this is important, this is real. You would not be given this inspiration or these ideas or this awareness and this understanding and these experiences that you've already had if they weren't for you to take up, if they weren't for you to embody. So that's the other piece of allowing, right? Is allow yourself to be who you are naturally and believe what you know to be true about animals and how they matter and what they're capable of and what you can understand and learn from them. So that's allowing. And then acknowledgement. I want you to think, well, let me stop. Let me go back. Any questions about allowing? Anything? No. I have a question for you. Where, in terms of allowing, which one of those things that I said, and maybe you wrote some things down, embodying, being open, allowing your senses to be open, allowing yourself to receive, allowing the animal to be themselves, allowing yourself to be animal communicator. Which one for you do you feel is the most challenging? Which one for you do you struggle with the most, if any? Not thinking. Yeah. D, you're not alone. Absolutely. You're not alone. Raise your hand. Even if you're not on camera, raise your hand. Right? Yes. We are thinky beings, right? We are taught to think, forced to think, told that, oh, I mean, I heard it all. Oh, you're so sensitive. You're so feeling. Just think about it. It's really not that bad, right? Even going back to, um, being a child, being a little person. We do it to children in our culture all the time. Taking a little person into the ocean or into the swimming pool, and they're like, "Mommy, I'm cold." Or, "Mommy, I'm afraid." Like, "Oh, no, you're not. This is fun. This is fine. You'll get used to it." Like, okay, what I was feeling, what I was thinking, what I was sensing wasn't right. So I got to think about it differently, and solving problems with our brains all the time. This is where what I was saying before, animals can help us solve issues when we stop thinking. I love it. Yes. Anybody else? what area do you struggle with? What area seems to be the most challenging for you at this time? And maybe you've moved through some of these things. Anybody um struggle with not giving yourself permission, not giving yourself like um the freedom or the permission to go be who you want to be, right? You might not have the tools, all the skills and the tools and the experience and the application yet, but like anybody struggle with really not like allowing yourself to be enough to step into animal communication in this way. If not, that's fantastic. Because I'll tell you a story. I held myself back for a while because I was so persistent in my purpose that I never wanted to do it wrong. So it kept me from doing it. Right. I value the animals so much. I love them so much. The last thing I ever wanted to do was like do it incorrectly. And we know what procrastination is about. It's like, oh, shoot, if it's not going to be perfect, I'm not going to start, you know? And sometimes that's the thing that holds you back, right? And so building in opportunities for yourself, building in, oh, Rosie's like, building in um situations and structure where you can step in and get busy, get working, you know? So, and I'll talk to you about that at the end too, if that's something that you're interested in, because we all need accountability. We all need accountability. You can be at home reading your animal communication book, taking out your notes from a class that you took long ago, sitting there with your own animal family and getting the same things back because you don't have anybody else to give you feedback with an animal you don't know, right? And when it starts to feel like I don't know what to do next, what do? Get up and do something else, right? So everybody needs accountability. Me too. What brought me forward was I just did it. I said I'm open, and people came, and I had to show up. And I valued the work so much that I was not going to not be my best. And I just embodied it. I embodied it. And I learned and I practiced and I applied tools and I grew and all the things along the way. And that's what I love helping people with. So, yes, it's absolutely um, giving yourself permission. I've held myself back. It's a worthiness thing. And as human animals, we all struggle with worthiness. I've said this before too. You might have heard it, but I'm going to say it again. Animals left to their own account, animals left in nature, and animals who are allowed to be themselves, Cecil, and live a fulfilled way, right? Healthy and fulfilled ways. They don't have problems. They don't have emotional issues. They don't have anxieties. Their bodies don't break down like animals who have been influenced by human intervention do, right? And I'm not being blamey about humans. And our companion animals are supposed to live with us, but they're also showing us how to clean up our own lives, clean up our own way of being because it affects them in some way, shape, or form, right? Nature makes mistakes sometimes, so you might have the animal who, has a physical issue they're born with. Um, Diseases infect and change things, but they don't carry anxieties on their own. Those are either through improper breeding or through being misunderstood or through people not meeting their ecological, physiological species needs. That's what creates the breakdown, right? And they don't struggle with worthiness. That's what I was saying. They don't struggle with worthiness until we tell them that they're not worthy and they're not right. And they're saying, I don't like this. I don't, and we say, oh, get over it by ignoring them, right? Ignoring the problem and not understanding. Does that make sense? Is that making sense? I know I'm talking really fast. I just want to make sure I get everything in. um, so anybody have questions or comments? You're welcome to come off mute if you want to. Just, yeah. Um, all right. The role of acknowledgement. is really, really big. And what is this about? Who is the acknowledgement? What is the acknowledgement for? And who is the acknowledgement for? It's for the animal and it's for you. The animal, when you think about how, so I mean, animals are always communicating. They may not always be communicating about things that we want to talk about, right? Like that might not be their priority, but they always have. Telepathy isn't just about like lobbing a tennis ball over there to be received and then lobbing something back. It's not like our humans, hey, honey, what? Like it doesn't go like that. It's they are them, I am me. I'm open to understanding about this about you. They are themselves in that topic with me. I can receive that on every level. I can feel it. I can understand it. I can sometimes see it if that's a piece of it, right? If it was an experience that they had vision for, or, I can. And so it's not a lobbing back and forth. So what happens is people often don't acknowledge that they've understood something about an animal and they go pop right back up into their brain. They skip the acknowledgement step, they pop right back up into their brain and start thinking about what else it could be. And start thinking about, oh, I didn't do that very well because I haven't been at this very long, or I haven't really, I don't know. I'll come back tomorrow after I rest. I'll go meditate for 30 minutes and light a candle and come back. Same information, it's all there. Acknowledge. Acknowledge what you receive in those moments that you receive it and resist the urge to get thinky about it. It's not, I am certainly not one to tell you that take action on everything that you receive because that's just negligent, right? That's irresponsible. And this is why I certify people. This is why I teach people at high levels because it matters. So I don't tell everybody that they're right. Now, I will tell you when you're wrong. That's what you sign up for, right? Like you want to get better. You don't just show up so, but you have to, as a practice, as a development, to acknowledge, I understood that. Because psychologically, it now allows you open to what comes next. Emotionally, it opens you to what comes next so that what you start to receive isn't just like a psychic hit fly by night, right? The acknowledgement also lets the animal know, oh, she got me. She got me. Okay. And what happens when we feel understood? What happens when you feel understood? When you have a friend who understands you, like nobody else, whoever that is in your life, how do you feel around that person? Validation. Yes, validation. So many things we feel around those were peaceful. Absolutely. Yes. Ease, right? Gentle. Like, oh my gosh, I could tell this person anything, right? That's why we love our animals. They know everything about us, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Like they know it all. And we feel good around them. They don't judge us, right? And so, Cecil, going back to what you said about letting animals be themselves, right? Sometimes we receive things and we're like, oh, that can't be. And what does that say to the animal? Like, oh, she just got it, but she didn't want to hear it. So okay. I'm not okay, right? So yes, that allows connection between you and the animal. So even if you're wrong, I mean, you're not asking questions like, how do you feel about amputating your hind leg, right? Like that's a big one. Call me. Do not do that one by yourself. But, what would you like to do today is a great question to ask your animal friend. Even if they're an indoor cat and you think that, well, they don't really hit, what could it be? You will get something. You will get something. Acknowledge it. It doesn't matter if you're wrong at this point, right? But the acknowledgement piece is so significant, really, really important. So under the umbrella of acknowledgement, well, and I just wanted, I think I did say it for the animal, it's for them, but it's also for you, right? Because when we acknowledge that we have received something, right? We've acknowledged that we've done what we set out to do, we grow. We just we just became more of who we showed up to be, which is all from the alignment part, right? I received this message from my animal, acknowledging that, and that allows you that you just gave yourself permission to be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm that much closer to how I want to be living my life and living with my animals. Um, Acknowledgement also, this is big, by giving yourself permission to acknowledge what you receive, you skip over the think part. If you consciously say, I'm going to acknowledge what I receive and I'm going to write it down, or I'm just going to feel with it for a minute and just let that settle in and reflect in your body, right? You skip over the thinking part because you gave yourself something else to do. That can be magic. So, a practice for you is just feeling it with your animal, opening up to a topic, not necessarily asking a question because questions feel like, oh my God, I got to get an answer, right? And so just opening up to a topic. What would you like to do today? What's important to you? How do you feel about summertime? Go general. Let it be general. You will you'll build your own confidence, your own trust, right? Um, but letting it come in and just write it down. Give yourself something else to do besides jump into thinking and doubt. Doubt comes from thinking. The body doesn't doubt, right? Our gut instinct knows, right or wrong. Our thinking mind is what allows us to doubt. Is this making sense? Yes? Yeah, great. Any questions? Do you see yourselves in this? Any questions about this at all? The other piece that acknowledgement does is it keeps you out of judgment. It deepens the connection. It allows the animal to feel connected to you and trust you. Like, okay, yeah, she's listening. Okay, cool. I can stay here. I don't have to get up and do something else that she's expecting me to do. Right? Um, and it really closes the loop on the alignment. It closes the loop. Those are the three steps. And so they're not like sequential, they're kind of like a circle, right? Align, allow, acknowledge. Keep aligning, keep allowing, keep acknowledging. It's a cycle, it's a circle, just like communication is. Communication closes a gap. It creates a loop. It creates a loop of understanding, a space of harmony. So, if you were to say right now, aligning, and some of you didn't get alignment yesterday, the topic on that really, but allowing or acknowledging, which ones of those do you feel most what do I want to say? Would serve you most to develop? Aligning, allowing, or acknowledging? Which one or ones? I see people typing. That's fine. Wait. Allowing. Cecil says acknowledging. Yeah. Um, and what is there anything you want to say about that? Like what feels like it's Yari says allowing. Um, so is it the thinking aspect that creates the resistance? And Yari, I don't know what yours was. I know Dee said thinking, Cecil, for yours with acknowledging, Cecil, what kind of is the, oh, go ahead.
Um, well, I think, you rush through a lot of the day. So it's like maybe there is a brief moment of acknowledgement, but so in my head in the thinking part because I gotta do this and I'm like, oh, we're gonna get on a call or I gotta, that I guess it's not being fully present or um enough of a present. Just being in that moment for the moment. It's like rushing through it because you're like, gotta get to the next thing. And I mean, that's just something that do and try to slow down, but
Yeah.
sometimes, it still happens.
Yes. 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 It's such a great example, Cecil, that acknowledge that yes. And so I want to comment on that, but I want to say this first is that that whole like loop of align, allow, acknowledge, not one is more important or less important or a greater skill or a lesser skill than the other. They are all important all the time. And we are constantly like they just expand out, right? Just like in nature, a flower blooms, it doesn't just go right? Like so so that first. And then what happens, and I know because people tell me about it, is you're rushing through your day and then all of a sudden you give yourself, okay, now I'm going to rest with my cat and we're going to communicate. Like, where is it? Right? We're so used to stimuli, we're so used to a way of being that then we step into this over here and it feels so foreign. And you're like, oh, I'm not accustomed to that. So and then we get antsy or we think, so yes, it's a contrast. And it doesn't have to be like that. That's why also people say, oh, I was doing my dishes and all of a sudden I got this sense that my cat was in a tree, right? Well, because you were doing your dishes, you weren't half asleep or exhausted or trying to communicate, you were just being present, right? Um, yeah, really good. Really good. How many people relate to that? Just do a yes or a thumbs up or something. Right? Yes. Um, and I just have to say too, this conversation, talking about these things, seeing ourselves in others and growing together in this is so powerful. People in classes, people in the Animal Wisdom membership, like we talk about this. We work on this. We hold each other accountable on this. We do classes together on this. Like there is room to grow. But doing it by yourself, we fall off of accountability because you don't get the feedback. You're practicing, trying with animals you already know. So it's going to feel like the same uh, air in the room. It's not going to feel different because you know them already. It's hard to recognize that when you're first starting. It's like breathing just the same air until you open up the window. You're like, oh, that felt different. That's what it's like to connect with an animal you don't know, right? An unfamiliar, I should say, unfamiliar animal. Their energy just feels different. You start to recognize it. And when you recognize that from animals you don't know, you start to attune your skills and your senses to receive from the animals that you do know. Rarely does it work the other way. It's like having your clothes on and you're just used to them, right? But boy, that part that's not covered and the air feels different, like, oh, I recognize that. It's a wonderful process, and we're not meant to do things alone. We're not. There are very few animals in the wild and basically none who are domesticated who are meant to do things alone. And if they do, if they are, they come together for something. And it's really important for the species to continue, right? I mean, like no one is meant to completely be alone. And we certainly don't learn alone. We learn through relationships. And I just can't say enough about the beautiful people who have come into the membership, come into classes, and they grow. And people who said, I never thought I wanted to do this as a profession, but I really love it. I want to bring it into something that I do. Whether they have a healing practice or they work at a shelter or they are a therapist, like animals matter to people. And when we can help others to understand those that they really matter to them, we're changing the world, right? We're ambassadors. So good, so good. I just love it so much. Um, So, all right. Um, I guess I just want to say that piece about when you think about aligning and write these things down, aligning, allowing, and acknowledging. What that does with that within that circle is it allows you to integrate it into your daily life and externally to integrate interspecies communication out, into you in your daily life, but then also out into your world, you know? And this is something we just did a practice circle today in the Animal Wisdom membership. And what happens with telepathy and how telepathy happens is that the whole concept, the animal's concept of the topic is available, right? It's all right there. It's not one word, one picture, one feeling, whatever. It's their whole experience, their whole ideas about it, feelings, emotions, everything. And when we learn in a group, we say, um, like you might get one piece of it, right? But then somebody else might get another piece, and somebody else might get another piece, and somebody else might get another piece. And what happens for you witnessing all of that is that you start to notice that was there, but I didn't quite verbalize it. It was there, it came into, in some way, it's there, but I didn't quite get it as that, or I didn't trust myself and actually say it, or I didn't pick up on it and then allow it to come in more. But when you do, when we're in a group and you hear someone say that, or somebody else shares and you share, it's like the whole story comes together and you start like your abilities, your awareness of telepathy happening between you and the animal comes into greater focus. Does that make sense? It's a concept that I didn't used to teach a long time ago. But I really love teaching at a different level. I teach people who want to bring this into their life, not just people who are like a little curious, people who say, "Oh my God, I get it. I just need to get better at it. That's it." You know? So, what I want to do, and it's 3:45, so we're going to go to about quarter past. So, we're going to do a little exercise right now on aligning, allowing, and acknowledging, and really, really simple. Um, and then I will share with you about how I can support you, how I can support you. We can have a conversation and just see what is a fit for you. And the membership that I have is open for coming into right now. And next month, it goes up in price. So it's at a founder's rate right now. It's been that rate for a year. And next month, that price is went. So I want to invite everybody here to think about stepping into that. And I can answer your questions about it and tell you more about it at the end. But I want to go into an exercise right now that involves aligning, allowing, and acknowledging. And it's going to be really, really simple. Allow it to be really simple for yourself and just trust, right? So, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to take you through just a quieting and aligning your energy process, and identity is who you are stepping into this exercise. And then I'm going to ask you to imagine an animal that you know, an animal who you know. It can be an animal who is living with you now. It can be an animal who is in spirit. But I want this to be an animal that you know that was your family, because there's a really important piece here. We need permission to connect with other people's animals. And I can share more about that at the end too, but we need permission. And I just want this to be really, really clear and clean, right? Doesn't mean that you can't receive communication from somebody else's animals or that you won't. It's that what do you do with that information afterwards if you weren't invited to receive it, you know? So an animal who you know in your family, and they can be either alive in a body right now or they can be alive in spirit right now. And you don't have to know who it is yet. You can just let them come to you. You don't even have to know who it is yet. And then we're going to acknowledge and you need to be mindful of this piece. Acknowledge before you start doubting. As soon as you receive a feeling, a sensation, a concept, an image, a knowing, an emotion, before you do anything, just, I receive that. And if that means putting your hand on your heart, if that means feeling your feet on the ground, what I teach people to do once they really get going is to take that concept and bring it into their body, let it just kind of drop into their heart and into their center, right? It's not taking on anybody else's anything. It's saying, I acknowledge this, right? Acknowledgement is receiving. So, um, so I have to give you that piece ahead of time because it's going to come quick and only you will know when it comes. So you have to acknowledge. Okay. All right. So first, just relax. Rosie's here with us. She's a catalyst for this. She shows up all the time, right on time, let me tell you. And feel your feet on the ground and let yourself rest and lean back into your chair. Leaning back is really important. Allowing yourself to be open, letting your hands be open, your feet be flat on the ground, and just let your breathing be easy. You can close your eyes. And don't do anything to adjust your breathing. Just let it be yours and natural and flowing and easy, whatever that's like for you, whether it's shallow or deep, doesn't matter. And just bringing your awareness to your feet on the floor, your seat on the chair, your back in the back of the seat that you're sitting in. Your shoulders are soft, and your head is resting gently on your neck. And just let yourself feel a sense of alignment. Feel a sense of just from top to bottom, from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet, there is alignment. And gently bringing your awareness just behind your eyes. Let your awareness, because when we think about awareness as humans, we tend to think seeing, right? But just bring your awareness right to behind your eyes so that your awareness is all within you. So you're not seeing out at anything. You're not letting your awareness be out. Your awareness right now is right there on the inside of you, inside behind your eyes, noticing down in your heart space, awareness there, awareness in your belly, awareness in your hips, awareness in your knees and down into your feet. Just let yourself be present inside of you. We have to be within ourselves in order to receive. We don't go anywhere outside of ourselves to communicate with animals. It's all within us that we receive. And very gently, just feel your brain quiet. And you're bringing together your alignment with your energy. You let your brain just slowly, softly, gently slow down, right? It might be feeling if your brain were cycling at 18 cycles per second, you're just going to ask your brain to go slowly, gently to 17 and 16 and 15. And just let your brain slow down and feeling within your inner awareness, just noticing what feels aligned. Maybe breathing is easier. Maybe you have a whole concept of being inside your body and a whole being. And as you are aligned in you, just become aware of all of your senses, not one at a time. Just kind of let your senses wake up. And your senses, when I say this, I mean your sense of sensation in your body, sensation on your skin, sensation throughout your body, inside your body, through your legs, through your arms, allowing your sense of awareness of energy around you, your own energy compared to energy outside of you. Just becoming aware and sensing that, allowing yourself just to let your sense of smell open. Sense of smell, notice what you smell, and imagine smelling with not just your nose, but with your ears and your skin Just being aware of how your sense of smell can open when you allow it to be open to more than just your nostrils. And now, just allowing your sense without opening your eyes, let your sense of sight be open, but not just seeing with your eyes because your eyes are closed, you can't, right? Allowing yourself to see with your heart space, the space in the center of your chest. Let your visual sensing be there. Let your visual sensing be in your hands open and soft. And just allow yourself to be sensing in this way. Really easy way of being. Just allow it to be simple. Whatever feels right, whatever matches for you, just let it be there. And now, very softly, very gently, I'd like you to allow in your heart space an impression of an animal whom you have known, whom you have loved, to just come to you. They may come into your heart space, they may come into your awareness somewhere else. You may feel them, you may sense them, you may smell them. And just be open to whatever it is that they would like you to know. Whatever it is that they would like you to understand. It may be a feeling, it may be an impression, it may be a visualization, it may be a concept or an idea, it may be emotion. Just allow yourself, whatever it is, and acknowledge what it is. And just let it be there. Let it come down into your heart space. Let it fill into that inner part of you, your awareness of inside of you, where you started your awareness, and just receive it there, acknowledging, I, I got that. I understand. And with that, allowing that animal, their image or the sensation, the impression that they're there, just allow them to share with you something else. Allow yourself to be open and noticing what else they bring, what else they want to share. Whether it's an emotion, whether it's a sensation, an impression, maybe something they experienced with you. And just allow that to come in and just receive it, simply receive it, acknowledging, breathing it in, taking it in with your breath into your body, into your center, just allowing it to be there without assigning meaning. Just let it rest there. And notice how you feel. And notice how you can feel what you feel and also still be aware of the animal present with you. Just notice you might sense them there. You might vaguely see their image. You might feel or smell their hair or their sense of warmth of their body. And just notice however that senses for you, however your senses feel that and are aware of that. And very, very gently, however you're sensing this animal, whatever senses of yours are aware of him or her, just feeling with that sense, through that sense, and in your body, love and appreciation for them. Love and appreciation. And notice how that feels. Notice where that sensation is in your body. Notice how your senses are aware of that. Maybe it's a color, maybe it's a temperature, maybe it's a texture, maybe it's a sensation somewhere in your body. Maybe it's something completely different. Just noticing, feeling love and appreciation for this animal, and feel it with this animal. Feel them feeling love and appreciation for you too. And just notice what that feels like. Notice where you sense it. Notice how you notice it. And gently thanking them. That's what love and appreciation does already, is thank them for this connection, for any impression they brought, any message, any awareness that they brought for you. Just gently thank them with love and appreciation. And notice where you feel that in your body, surrounding your body. And then very gently, just be aware of your breathing, feeling your feet on the ground. And be aware of your awareness in the center of your body, in your heart space, in your legs and your feet, and also up around behind your eyes, just bringing your awareness to being inside of you. And then very gently bringing your awareness to your feet on the ground, feeling your seat in your chair, feeling your shoulders softly, gently flowing from your neck. And whenever you feel ready, you can flutter your eyelids open. And I want to take a couple of minutes and just share. How do you feel? You can come off mute. You can type, doesn't matter. Cecil said, amazing, connected. Yeah. Yeah. Who did you connect with? Go
Oh,
ahead.
my dog, Indy. Yeah, he's not here, but he's at the groomers right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. And what did you receive,
And
Cecil?
well, he doesn't like being forced. That was it. But I mean, he's just a chill dog. He's just happy and,
Mhm.
you know, he doesn't need a lot.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel that? How did you feel that in your?
For me, it's more energetic. Like, I feel energy.
Mhm.
So it's not like a color or a thing like that. I just energetically kind of can feel um when I'm with him, that's what I like, that's what comes up. It's like I just kind of like feel something coming off of him and I'm
Mhm.
like, okay,
Mhm.
that type of thing. Yeah.
Mhm. And so you felt that too in connecting with him here now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Becoming more aware of what that connection feels like is an avenue, right? That's a doorway. It's awareness brings familiarity, which brings about how to receive and how to connect, right? And the other thing is, it doesn't have to always parcel out into a sensation or an image or an emotion. There's just all knowing, right? And that's the true telepathy, is it all fills in. But sometimes all the details aren't quite there, so it is just of sense. So yeah, nice. Then there's so much more to develop around it. That's what's really, really exciting. I love it. Thanks, Cedal. Dee, you were going to share.
So I think it was my kitty in spirit, Fenny,
Hmm.
and I just feel like I saw her face, and then I think all she, and then I think I heard her
Well,
say, "Oh, go ahead."
I want you to say I felt, because your thing you didn't want to do was think.
That's right.
Woohoo! We got that one right. So I want you to just, so you're not wrong. I love it.
Right.
It flows for you, Dee.
Yeah,
Remove the thing you want to remove, the think.
I do for
Yeah. So
sure.
go ahead. So carry on.
Anyway, so I saw Fenny's
Yeah.
head, like her face. And when I just asked her what message, all that came to me was, I love you. That
Mm-hmm.
was it, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
How did you acknowledge it? What did it feel like? What did that feel like to acknowledge?
well, first of all, I thought about, because I did it, because it's so hard not to. Like, is that me just saying that? Because I know she loved me and that's you know what I mean? And then I said, stop doing that. So
Mhm.
then I just left it open. Is there anything? And I didn't feel anything after that, you know? So I said, I'm going to allow that to be all that she wanted to say, And then I thanked her, from that standpoint. But that brain, it is like, you mean this is it? You're just going to tell me that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I said to myself, why just you've got to believe it. Just stop analyzing whether she would have said that, didn't say that, what she doesn't want to say more.
Yes. It, it's so I love this example. I love your experience and congratulations on really just allowing and recognizing all of the resistance to it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm drowning in awareness of
Yeah.
my shortcomings.
Oh, I can help you with that. Really, I can help you with that. So this is common for others. And when you
Oh,
see
yeah.
it in others, you start to recognize it in you and then we can let it go. And
Mhm.
the piece also is when we like just kind of the whole concept, right? If we if we can't accept this, how can we accept more, right? Information
Right,
like
right. You've set yourself up for failure. You know what I mean?
yes. So the acknowledgement, like let's just start with this and allow
Yeah.
more to come in. Let's just start with this and let it be easy. So there's a next level of allowing for you that I really want you to embody. I really want you to take this in, and that is write it down. As simple as this sounds, her name started with an F. Tell me, I'm sorry.
Jenny.
Fenny. Um, Fenny sent me that she loved me and what it felt like what you noticed. It didn't have to be a sensation or a color or an emotion or whatever. Just how did it land for you? And I'm going to give you an example of this in a minute that really, really served me. So, but doing that piece is huge. It completes the loop,
Mhm.
right? So it's not just bouncing around inside of there going ping, 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 ping. That wasn't enough. That was, it gives it a place to live that you now completed a connection with. And sometimes by getting it out of ourselves, we can see it there, and then we can acknowledge it or feel it even differently, right? Because it's about differently, not more or less, it's differently. But um, I'm gonna invite you to write things down that you received.
Got it.
Really write
Mhm.
it down. Start a journal. This is like something we do in the membership and in my classes. We write it down. You have to have one. If you don't, you will forget. That's my college freshman FaceTiming me 4 times a day. Anyway, um, so, yes, I love it. I love it, Dee. And I want to give you guys an example of this for me. Something I wrote down at one point I received the most beautiful, like life-changing connection with a humpback whale. And I was in upstate New York. Like I was nowhere near the ocean. This whale came in and just like took me to the depths of the ocean, shared with me about interactions that she had had with boats. And I had known people who had been on whale adventures, and I shared this whale and what she told me her name was and where she showed me that she was. And it was all validated. Like I couldn't even freaking believe it. And if I hadn't written it down, right, I would have forgotten details. And I would not have believed because my thinking brain would have told me all kinds of stories, fakeness about the invalidity, invalidating that, whatever that word is, right? Like I wrote it down. And do you know, when I was like building my confidence and, I read that thing every day. I read that experience with that whale every day because it brought me right back there. You know how when you read a really good book, when the words are not even words, they're just a whole thing, like you go there. And that's what acknowledging does for the telepathy. It's like, oh, okay, I got that. It's like you put it in the book and then it becomes real. You don't even have to read it anymore. You just pick up the book and go like this. You know what I mean? But you can teleport, you can transport yourself there and be open to what comes next, right? So write things down. I love it. Really, really good. Really nice, Dee. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? We'll just take one more and then I'll share with you.
I can share.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know that it was, okay, so I probably had an expectation, but anyway, for me, I went very deep. I wasn't expecting that, but as you were talking, I went deep. And I knew and felt Spencer, but right after that, there was an image of a duck, which then threw me off. So I didn't get much else on it because it was a duck, and I would say something like a mallard, a Peking, so whatever has that little crest thing on it, or
Mhm.
can lift the crest thing. So I didn't hear anything or feel anything from Spencer, and I didn't hear or feel anything from the duck, but it got extremely hot, and I'm always cold.
Mm.
So I'm not quite sure what to do with that, but that was really what happened. So it kind of threw me off too.
So Lisa, really, it's all good. It's all good. And I'm gonna offer you the same tip. Write it down.
Okay.
Write it down. Get it out of your brain where you're going to toss it around and make it make sense and put it into a puzzle. And this is like sometimes people like to assign meaning to it. So this is not your story, and I don't want it to be. And this is not what Spencer is telling me at all. I'm not getting anything from him,
Right.
her, whoever Spencer, but is people jump to conclusions. And I'm not saying you do this, Lisa, but it's a really good example for everyone else.
Mhm.
People jump to conclusions about, I was tuning in with Spencer and he showed me a chicken, just to change the story because it's not, I was tuning in with Fluffy and she showed me a chicken, and if Fluffy was no longer in a body but in spirit. So she's a chicken now. You know what I mean? Like people come up with ridiculous stories that could be true, but that's not enough information to know that, right?
Yeah.
So I want to give you permission, Lisa, not to be attached to any of the meaning because in there, the duck threw you off, right? Just let it come in and don't get thrown off, right? Don't let that thing throw you off. When we don't assign meaning to it or we're not looking for meaning to it, it can just be there in the room, in the room, meaning your connection room, the little TP you put around you, you and the animal, and just let it be there. But it's a beautiful example of um, being really open. You're really open, Lisa, and I know you know this. Giving yourself permission to let it all be there without having to do anything with it, right?
Okay.
And the meaning will come. The meaning will come, not from that. Just let that be an experience, but write it down. Write it down. The getting hot piece, what it felt like. The most important thing, this is for everybody right now, is, and for me, when I did that whale experience, right, where I had that, where I wrote down my whale experience, diving through the ocean in the middle of New York, but um, was the sensations.
Okay.
And the little things, the little details and sensations and sensing situations. And the more that we can be open to those, the more information comes in. So yeah, really good. Lisa, does that help you?
That helps. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even connect that it could have been Spencer. I kind of connected the duck and Spencer were separate, not
Yeah.
Spencer showing me a duck, but everything was different than how I would normally experience it. So,
Yes.
like the hotness, the unexpected duck. So,
So, so this is a good thing. Yes. And I was not assigning, I'm sorry if I did that. I didn't mean to make it like your story
yeah,
or anything. It was just a really good example, like foundation of an example how people do assign meaning and make up stories. I'm
yeah.
not saying that was you at all. I love in that I just think I understood is that it opened up some new avenues of receiving for you. Is that what I heard you say? Is that what?
Yeah, I think so because different sensations and feelings than I would normally have.
Yes. Beautiful. That's what you want to be doing.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. I love it. That's so good. That's what you signed up for, girlfriend. Really good. Really good. Lisa's in the membership. She's coming to the weekend retreat next weekend too. So, virtual. It's not, you don't have to come, but, so this is really good. Yari or Julie, do you want to share anything? And I get it if you can't talk, it's okay, but you're welcome to. So I want you to, think about what you're taking with you, right? We covered aligning, allowing, and acknowledging, and how that's a loop, right? And you had the experience of aligning and allowing and acknowledging. And it's not necessarily something different than you've done in a class before or in a workshop before, or whatever. But having the concept of align, allow, both from internal and external, as well as a process that is not a hierarchy, right? It's not a sequence so much that allows your experience to be more, right? Different can be more. Different is more. When we are accumulating experiences, different experiences adds up to more. And we want our communication with the animals to be more. We want to receive more information. We want to have more detail. We want to have more understanding, right? So, yeah, trust the process. And I would love to support you. Oh, I told you about the membership. It's right now $555 for the year. That goes up to $997 next month. I would love for you to come. I would love for you to step in. And if you're not ready for that, let me tell you, that is for people who want, you're not signing up for a 6-month project. You can step in and let it be really organic and community based and get experience. It's for people who want to grow their knowledge. We do classes, 4 classes a month, sometimes 5 if I have a special guest come. But you get feedback, you learn new tools, you're learning about concepts related to animal communication, and you have accountability, right? And you have other people to have these conversations with. It's amazing. Who it's not for are people who want to continue on their own. People who just want to like stay quiet and, not participate. And I don't mean participate. You can show up and be quiet. I'm saying people who aren't ready, people who aren't ready to say, yeah, I am an animal communicator at my own point here in my development. And I know that this is one of the most important things in my life is to understand animals better and be an ambassador, right? And to align and allow and acknowledge what they have to share with me. So that's who it's for. The other thing, and I'm just going to pop both of these into the chat. If you just want to hop on a quick conversation and just see where you're at, I put 2 things there. One is to the membership and one is to the to a private call with me. And it's just an alignment call. Where are you at with your animal communication skills? What are your strengths? What is really working for you? What isn't? And what do you need? So it's kind of like an alignment, and I'll share with you next steps. I would call it an assessment, but that sounds too test-like. Blech, that's not what this is about. But I'm happy to meet with anybody and talk with you about where you're at and where you want to go, right? Like when we start waking up to this, well, you're already awake. When you wake up even more, it can change your life. It can change the trajectory of like what you want to do, where things matter. We are at a point in time where real things matter, like the real things matter. And yeah. Yeah. So I am happy to support you. Reach out to me. You can sign up through one of those links if that calls to you. And yeah, I thank you so much for being here. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, I look forward to connecting soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.